Hi chums, it's me again. Been a while, hasn't it? So I've made many promises to get back on here again, and it actually happened yesterday. We got started in the garden. My friend Malachy arrived, and he did a real good job helping me with the greenhouse. Now it took a couple of hours. I was wrecked at the end of it. I've been pretty sick. Not like I'm not in danger of death or anything. I got like a COVID type thing in February. My wife as well, and we're both still getting over that. We're absolutely exhausted all the time, but with a bit of help, we got some work done. I'm just going to show you some other stuff while I'm here. I'm going to put you on to, I'm going to change the screen. I'm on selfie. There we go, turned round. So these my apple trees are in blossom. I pruned them and they seem to be coming on fairly well. They did well last year. The apples are getting bigger. I got the grass cut. Bought a new mower. Went to buy a £15 part. What's that, about $17? And I came home with a different mower. So that's where it goes. But the other one was 27 years old, and I was the only one who could drive it because they were operated, because there were so many idiosyncrasies in it now. And my wife had been up me for a while. This bike is going to Africa. I'm not allowed to even own the bicycle anymore because of the back issues. My spine is so weak now. So osteoporosis and all, ankylosing spondylitis, all sorts of things, like my back's like spines like chalk. So I'm not even allowed on a bicycle. So I have a friend who does missions in Africa, and he sends out stuff to Africa in containers. Now this is chicken feed here, a bicycle. He sends out like tractors and combine harvesters and what do you call it, X-ray suites from hospitals and operating theatres and stuff. You know, he can get some stuff, and it's going to be dumped, and he sends it to Africa. So it's really good stuff. But these bicycles are used for doctors and nurses in the bush. Now I said I'd get new tyres put on it and all the rest of it. And he says, no, don't. We have a guy who actually sets the bikes up for Africa for us. He's a bike engineer, and he sets them up for Africa so that they're bulletproof, basically. That's a 30-year-old bike. Maybe we'll see 30, maybe nearly 40-year-old bike. I'm just trying to think. No, but 30-year-old. And it's a brilliant bike. Rally Amazon, and it's got no suspension and stuff. It's an old mountain bike, but it's a sound as a pound. I got it checked out a couple of years ago, and I've been lying for about 10 years, and the guy in the bike shop said to me, all I did was blow the tyres up. That bike is in perfect condition. I did look after it. So it's going to Africa. I don't know when, but I had it out for a bit of a wash there. So this was the big project yesterday. This has been a disaster. The going back to nature has been a disaster. The rushes took over and the brambles took over. So I've sprayed all the brambles, and some of the rushes, I don't know if you can even spray rushes. You might have to crush the stems first because they're a bit like that mare's tail. But we'll get there eventually. But then Malachy came yesterday. The weeds in here were 6 feet tall, and we got in yesterday and cleaned the place out. So, what a difference that made. Really, now, there are issues in here. I haven't been in here, it's been 10 years since I was in here doing any work. And there's panes of glass out of the roof. I think there's what? 2, 4, 6, 8, 10. About 10 panes of glass out of the roof. I'm going to replace those with acrylic sheet because I put glass up there one time, and one of these sheets broke while I was putting it up and went down the side of my neck. And I was so lucky I didn't get my throat slit open. So I'm going to use acrylic sheets. A builder friend told me don't even think of putting glass up again. So I'm probably going to get these panes taken out and put acrylic sheets over the whole thing. 2 of these ended up in my neighbour's garden during a storm. So that's where we are. We got this all cleaned out. The weeds in here were like 6, 7 feet tall. But fortunately, my son had been in here and tilled this beautifully twice in the last 2 years, thinking I was going to get back at it again. So the soil is lovely and friable. So most of the weeds just pulled out. Some of the stuff is just like a mossy type thing on the ground, and I've just sprayed that yesterday. So, and their stuff has to be, most of that's going to go to the dump because those are old seed trays and they're all getting, the entropy's got them, they're falling apart now. But those will go do another run to the dump. So that's where we are, folks. And even my shed, even my wood shed, I can't get into this with the briars, but as you can see, they're burning back all right. So I'll get at those this week sometime. I just have to take things really easy, you know. But the garden's not looking too bad. I'm happy enough with it. Apart from this here, this has been a disaster. My son will not like hearing that because he thinks it's good. But he's in Japan, because there's not much you can do about it. I am going to leave it natural, but I'm going to get these rushes out and put in more trees, fruit trees and stuff, because they're nice. I like this here. I like that. The look at the trees. You know, that's really good there. I discovered what I was doing. What my problem with my plum trees was, I was pruning the trees at the same time as I was pruning the 4 apple trees. I was pruning the 3 plum trees, and you don't do that. You do that in summertime. Plums don't like getting pruned in winter, so that was my mistake. So that's how we learn. So that's it, folks. So we switch back to myself. Oh, there I am. So I'll get some more videos up later. I had to do this on my phone because I got a new computer, built a really nice computer. I never thought of getting slots put in for memory cards. So I've no way of putting the memory card into the computer directly. So I'm doing this on my phone to download from my phone to YouTube. So that's another learning experience. So I hope you're all doing well. And Pam, thank you for the lovely message you sent yesterday. And just on that, folks, thank you to the people who have sent me messages. Over the past number of years, people have been sort of occasionally contacting me to see how I am. And it's a lovely touch, you know. You feel like you're not forgotten about. But I never did YouTube to become famous or anything, you know. But it's nice when somebody comes back to you and says, how you doing? So that's great. I've had a lot of messages like that, so thank you for that. There's one beautiful message. You don't realise the impact you're having on some people. There's a beautiful message from some people in America whose father came from Northern Ireland, and they listened to some of the potato reveals, the stories, because I sound like their father, and it reminds them of him. And I thought that was just beautiful. You don't realise what you're doing and how it affects other people. So thank you to those people. You know who you are. I'm not going to mention your name on here because that's not fair. So hope you're all doing well, and life's not treating you too badly. I'm doing grand. I'm not in danger of death or anything. I'm just struggling to get over a bit of illness. The other thing that caused the garden to go downhill was pride. I kept going at the garden when I should have actually stopped and eased back, and ended up losing all my beds. Remember all the beds, there's 30 beds there. So I lost them all, and it was through pride. I wouldn't stop, and I didn't want to give up, but nature got me in the end, you know. My body got me in the end. So I've got ankylosing spondylitis and psoriatic arthritis and osteoporosis. So my spine and my ribs and all are pretty bad shape, you know. So I just have to take it as I can now, but I'm doing okay. I'm not going to die, hopefully. And I'll be 68 in June. I can't believe that, 68. I was telling somebody the other day, I went to Canada when I was a young fella to work, and they said, when were you in Canada? I said, about 30 years ago. And my wife looked at me and I went, 50 years ago. I went out when I was 17. And it could be 50 years, my God, like a lifetime. So there you go. Anyway, I hope you're all doing well, and I'll try and get this loaded up today. All the best now. Bye-bye.